Hello and welcome once again to another StarCraft episode. This is me, Jim Raynor, and I welcome all who love good and hate evil to join me on my quest to liberate everyone in the galaxy. I am facing off this time against another Terran player, whose name is Phizzik. This is a TVT on Cloud Kingdom, I spawning as the red Terran on the top right, and my opponent, Phizzik, the blue Terran on the lower left. This is Cloud Kingdom. Now, one thing you should know about Phizzik, he is an extremely skilled Terran player, perhaps the best in North America. And there's a backstory to this. Phizzik, he actually had the opportunity, and continues to have the opportunity, to live the life of a kind of a celebrity player, but interestingly, he's felt it more viable from a career standpoint to kind of work in the background. And this is by mere chance, as he was identified very early in the Brood War days as a very skilled Terran player. Blizzard, interestingly, discovered him just kind of gaming in in an internet cafe, and they thought his playstyle was so awesome they fell in love with the guy immediately, and they actually used Phizzik as a model as they were developing the StarCraft II game, and they ended up taking him to this dark room, wired him up, put all these little sensor suction cups all over him. Got a bunch of guys, old guys with clipboards and pencils, and they took notes as he gamed away, and they ended up using him as a model for how they would ultimately program the insane computer opponent that we've all tried to play on StarCraft II. So every time you face off against an insane computer opponent, you're actually facing off against one of the best Terran players in North America, who is Phizzik. It's crazy stuff. He actually showed me the video of some of this stuff, and I didn't believe it at first until I saw the video. So it's pretty cool. Today, Phizzik just kind of lurks in the shadows, and he pops out every once in a while, and he's brought his star power to the New England StarCraft League, thankfully, for which we're very grateful to have him aboard. So anyway, we're doing the typical Terran opening here. Upgrade the orbital at about 16. Have a barracks ready. Second depot's there. Thankfully, I was able to lock in my opponent's SCV with my supply depots and deny him any more mining time. Phizzik, in the meantime, is doing pretty much the same build as I am. Fast expand. I think I will be doing the same. There we go. Now, I know Phizzik is, he's a great player, and so we had to kind of have a gentleman's agreement when I faced off against him, because I know he'd raffle stomp me. So we agreed that to handicap him, to make it a little bit more fun and fair, he agreed to invert his screen so that he's actually watching a mirror image of what we are seeing, which kind of throws off your button placement and all the things that you're comfortable with. Even inverting his keyboard as well. He had to flip it upside down to make it fair. So that's the only reason why I'm still even in this game. Okay, so he let me put it on everybody's cam. So he's coming up with a little push SCV, maybe to build a bunker, and of course he unfortunately just kind of didn't A move. He just kind of command moved and lost a couple of Marines that he didn't need to. Backing out now, finding the error of his ways. 3 barracks for him and 3 for me. Pretty much a mirror match at this point. I've got a bunker, he does not. He needs to upgrade that to an orbital command. You got the money, do it. Phizzik. There you go. And I'm already kind of ahead here. Thankfully, that handicap of him really saved my Abacus from a lot of shame and suffering. So anyway, Phizzik's got both of the towers. He's doing good, and I don't. So we'll see how the game plays out. Not much else to say. There he goes, migrating his workers, Maynarding his workers. And he's getting a bunker too, boy. He saw what I did and said, I want to be just like Jim Raynor. So I feel flattered. As they say, imitation is the greatest form of flattery. Probably time for a couple of add-ons here if I've got the gas. It's usually when I start. Yeah, there we go. Bada bang, bada bang. I know my build. Let's see what Phizzik is doing. He's doing the exact same thing. We have one tech lab, one reactor, and that's going to be a reactor as well. He'll probably start researching that stem as soon as he can. There it goes. And we'll probably see a factory after that if all things are equal. Another supply depot just to mitigate any possible Hellions that might be running in there. Usually I stray away from Hellions. I really don't have the micro that you really need. I'm good with A moving. A moving is very simple, and that I can do. With Hellions, you have to actually you have to hotkey them. You know, you don't have to, but it helps, and I just don't do that sort of thing. So another bunker supply depot going. Get his third gas. What do we got here? 4 barracks. Not a factory yet. Not a factory yet. Oh yes, yes. My bad. There's the factory. Probably should put the production tab on there. So yeah, got the factory. I'll probably put a little reactor on that and flip it to a starport with the reactor, and then add a tech lab to it after it lands. Is that what he's going to do? Probably. Pumping Marines. Pretty typical build. At this time, I am not building any. Oh, yep, 2 SCVs. 2 SCVs. Let's look at the income tab just because I'm curious. Alright, your friend Jim Raynor is ahead on harvesters. Although our income is lopsided, I probably have a couple of mules that I need to call down. And there goes one. So he dropped a scan just to see what I was doing. And it looks to me like I'm pretty much doing the same thing he is. He's pretty quick on flipping that. Don't you love TBT? Pretty much like everybody does the exact same thing. Although in a textbook TBT, what I should have done was gotten the Banshee out. Neither of us bothered with the Banshee thing. It's, I don't know, it's kind of cliche. It's a bit of a long shot, especially if you want to invest in cloak. And personally, to me, it's not worth the risk. I'd rather just vest my resources in the ground army, which is ultimately what you're going to use to win. Engineering bay coming. Alright, so I'm probably going to take this tower. Yep. And then I'm going to lose it. But I thought, I feel good enough that I could probably go out and just at least do a little show of force. At the same time, our friend Phizzik is moving out. Looks like he's going to do himself a little bit of drop action. And I'm doing the same thing. Kind of a mirror image. The only exception is I am not expanding to a third yet. Probably should at least build one in my base. But, nah. Oh, wait, I am building one. There we go. Alright, so I plant my guys there. What I want to do is a 2-prong attack. Send 1 Marine to see what kind of unit composition I'm dealing with. Obviously, I'm not going to get very far up there, so I just keep my guys at the tower, and then look to see if I can drop. There's too much stuff here. I'm not really comfortable dropping, so I just kind of back out. Every once in a while, I actually do something prudent, and I don't recklessly just drop blindly into a bunch of units and static defense. Now I know he's got tanks, so I'm going back and forth, but I'm not committing. He wants me to commit, but I'm not going to give him that pleasure. Getting the next wave ready. Got 5 barracks ready there. So my thinking is, alright, macro, I'll just hold my own right here. If he wants to push, fine, I'll just run away. He's got tanks, so he's going to be a little bit slower than me. if he wants to keep his units together anyway. I don't have the concussive shell. Don't think I ever get it. But I do have. What do I have? Oh no, I don't have the marine shield, but I do have stim, so that's a plus. I don't think he got marine shield either. Now this is scary. This could be bad. In fact, it is bad. I lose just about everything. So, Phizzik is one-upping me here, obviously. He's got map control. He's got a superior army. Look at the food count, though. Yeah, he's ahead of me on food. I'm ahead on harvesters, though. Okay, so I don't know if he dropped a scan here, but he's of the opinion that there probably should be a third there, so he may as well see if he can block that. I'm aware. I have a force, what I do have, ready to go. Not good. Not good for me at all. The insane computer model is kicking in. I kind of freak out a little bit. Pulling my SCVs was probably not necessary, but I didn't want to lose them, but I ended up losing them anyway. All right, repair, good. In the meantime, the sneaky Phizzik Terran is wanting to do a little drop. No. Alright. I can probably clean this up pretty good, but I am worried about what am I going to do about this. So, we're sieging. Meantime, back in the base, what are we doing? We need to go 2-2, Mr. Phizzik. And we have, a fair amount of barracks. Probably could add a few more. Alright, my SCV's decided it's time for me to stop working because danger is in the air. And they might need to help out with any kind of attack that's coming. So, alright, there's two avenues of approach I need to worry about. So I'm going to try to spread my forces between the two in case he comes up in either one. How are we doing on upgrades? We got 1-1 there. And I've got 0-1. I'm just no match for Phizzik. A little indecisive, not sure what he wants to do, so he's going to come up and around. And, of course, I should have my tanks here. And have, some aerial units there. But I don't, because I'm a retard. And we're going for yet another expansion. There are just not enough minerals on Cloud Kingdom for Phizzik. Probably should cancel that command center building. A desperation scan on my part. Those guys are not even in range. I really want to save this if I can. Cancel my building. Unfortunately, he threw away his bio right there. That was not necessary. What he could have done was contained me. And then dropped, working around the missile turrets, obviously. But by preoccupying me here, he could have certainly done a lot more damage. But he's obviously got full map control at this point, and he is not worried about a thing. I, on the other hand, am worried. I don't know how I'm going to get my next expansion going. And I know that this guy is very vulnerable, so I'm going to PF it. Hope against hope that he doesn't notice that I need to mine from there. Come on, Phizzik. Push. And there go my SCVs, and I believe he saw that. Yes, he's going, "Ha! Free SCVs. I like killing SCVs." I kind of knew this would happen, but there was really nothing I can do about it. I just didn't have the stones to go deal with all those tanks. Tanks are really scary. So this thing goes away. Meanwhile, I'm just thinking, alright, well, the one good counter to tanks is more tanks, so I'm building them too. And do I get some Vikings in the air? No, I'm not even making them. I got the money to. But, my thinking was, you know, I'm gonna have to send something somewhere to do something, so away I go to take out one of these expansions. I dropped that scan, just to see if there's anybody coming. Thankfully I looked like I had free reign. And then of course the next thing I'm going to do is drop down to the next expansion. That pulls him out of position, unbeknownst to me. I got a little smarter with my tank positioning. So he knows I'm going south, likely. Although he didn't factor in the time it takes, so I beat him to it. Could have cut me off, but the damage is done. I'm going to lose my Marines, but I'm kind of okay with that. It's worth it. I got an expansion. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm building up a formidable force. A force that may actually win. And it's go time, baby. Except for the fact that I don't want to go there. I want to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tanks against 8 of my tanks. And Mr. 9 comes. So, typical TVT, I know. It gets kind of boring. Tanks, tanks, more tanks. But the medvacs do make it more interesting. Alright, so our friend is going to go up and around again. Don't know why he's here. He probably doesn't know why he's there either. Okay. And let's see. What are we going to do? I'm going to try my second attempt at grabbing my fourth. Totally mined out there. Totally mined out there. This is my last bastion of hope. And this was not a good move on his part. I tried to get cute with my Banshees, but they're not doing any damage. Too much anti-air. My SCVs, I figure, you know, if I'm going to lose this, I'd rather at least save my SCVs, and I just started mining here, so why not just migrate them and saturate this later, if I can survive this. So it's just a war of tanks, unupgraded tanks. He's 2-2. I'm 2-2. So there was a little bit too much of a show of force. He obviously decided there's got to be another way to poke in besides going through this with tanks. So up and around he goes, and yeah, I got way too many SCVs there, so I brought some of them back. And where did they go? I don't know. Oh, I needed 7 to mine all that gas. Alright, and this is where it starts to get a little interesting. If anything, you know, on a TVT, one thing that you need to worry about is positioning. That's it's very critical. Unit positioning is very key. So if you can pull your opponent out of position, you're in good shape. I was able to here just bring his entire force back. Now this gave me an opportunity. I could have sieged right in the middle if I wanted to, if I had the APM, but I do not. So this guy is just going to sit there and be threatening for a little while. I finally figured out, okay, now I can move out at least to the center of the map, because I know that it'll take him a while to get to the center of the map himself. So this might be my only opportunity to really get in there and at least try to retain some map control. He's coming. I'm just waiting for that siege moment to come. And where are you? Yeah. This is a pretty good area to siege in. I got a little clumsy with my positioning. My units were kind of going all over the place. Alright, Phizzik is going for the Doom drop. He's going to put just about everything he can into this. But then he sees me approaching, and now I don't want to go away just yet. Excellent sandwiching. He was fortunate to be able to nail me really good. He lost a lot, but I lost just about everything. I still had a contingency back up there that I totally forgot about, and then realized and said, yeah, I can probably call those guys into service next. And really it's just a matter of baiting your opponent into your siege line, if you can do it, or at least catching them off guard and sieging somewhere inconspicuous. So that was kind of my thought process at this point. He is on 3 bases. I am on 1, 2, 3. Well, if you don't count that, if there's no SCVs. But at least I've got command centers. More than him. This little ninja expansion saved me. I don't think he was ever aware of it. Oh, no, he is. He knows I'm there. There's just nothing he can do about it at the moment. Actually, there is. Now I remember this game. Yeah, this is where he... This is great. Now, Phizzik knows that he should probably take care of this. So he's going to do that. And at this point, I see all this stuff, and I go, geez, that's his entire army. I guess this is probably my golden opportunity number 2 to finally get a little bit closer without having to worry about going into a barrage of sieges. So I gladly give up this expansion in exchange for this position right here. Siege up. Try to migrate my units. And then just wait for him to try to deal with it. And this is the moment of truth. I am sieged and he is not. You can see what a difference it makes. Alright, so this expansion's down. He's got 1 mining base, well 2, but there's really not a lot of minerals there. Granted, he's got a lot of money, but you know, Terrans can't warp things in, so it's going to take some time before he can replace that army. With a certain degree of bad micro, I'm able to at least get my siege tanks into somewhat of a position where they can start doing damage. Just in time for Banshees to start harassing them. And I've got absolutely no anti-air to speak of. So The only thing that I can do is just suicide these guys, and that's kind of what I do. Just go up there in a blaze of glory. But thankfully, I cleaned up a great deal of his army, and there was hardly anything left but SCVs, for which I gladly did my stutter step micro. And GG it is. Alright, so that's my game with the all-time champion Phizzik, Insane Computer Extraordinaire. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Catch you later. Hasta la vista. Goodbye.